Like a tightrope walker, slowly making steps towards your challenge ahead, feeling the fear as you become closer to the tightrope. From a distance, the rope looks so strong, so simple to the eye. You're unsure if this vision of the rope is a true reflection of the steps you know you're about to take. It appears appealing, yet deceiving. It starts before she gets here. Before the stairs tell her she's alien to a country that knows her great-grandfather's Mexican hands all too well. His fingerprints still echo underneath railroad tracks from Texas to California, where bent knees and bent hands once picked and plucked and pushed and pulled and worked for more money than he was used to, but less than he deserved. For Ana Maria, it begins before the border. She walks in a desert for a week with her two uncles, with nothing more than a few gallons of water and a prayer tucked into their pockets, the wind pushing at their backs, the grunt of gunshots from drug cartels, and the desperation of a job to employ their stomachs. Both have been uninvited guests at their doorstep, so they step. The border is a line that birds cannot see. The border says, "Stop!" to the wind, but the wind speaks another language and keeps going. The border used to be a welcoming, stopping sign, but is now a stop sign. Always red. The border is a real crack in an imaginary dam. The word border sounds like order, except in this place, they do not rhyme. Ana Maria's small hand clutches the bottom of her abuela's dress. Her mother waits for her on the other side, hoping that her face still sings of home like it used to. Another step. She is too young to know what border means. She thinks people are just family members she hasn't met yet. When her family arrives, Ana Maria will learn there are some borders you can't cross by foot. On January 25th, 2019, at the Rio Grande Big Bend National Park, Corbin Kunst, an American, walked a tightrope suspended at an estimated 500 feet above the US-Mexico border, where he was met in the middle of the tightrope by Jaime Marrufo, a Mexican tightrope walker, according to CNN on August 24th, 2019. This dangerous feat was produced into a short film titled The Imaginary Line by Kyler Melton. The film, published on YouTube on August 26, 2019, describes how the team sought to challenge the political conversation surrounding migration and deconstruct the belief that borders separate us as human beings. We shall explore the invisibility of borders and how they embody a metaphorical tightrope for immigrants. Through the poetry, Struggling with Fear by Charlotte Smith, a poem, The Tightrope Walker by King Poetry, Borders by Denise Froman, The Border, a double sonnet by Alberto Rios, To Live in the Borderlands by Gloria Ansandula, and The Legalities of Being by Yosemar Reyes. Because some tightropes never end. Ana Maria is now 10 years old. She's learned enough English to translate for her parents, but still says that her thick accent is a problem. When the teacher calls on her to read, she tries to speak proper, like proper has a sound. She pushes her tongue down so she doesn't roll her R's. The two boys behind her don't know how to do long division, but they know what a wetback is, and that Ana Maria has braids, and that Ana Maria's hair is thicker than their sister's, and they don't know how they know, but they know how to treat difference when they smell it. So they say things like, yo, go back to your own country. To live in the borderlands means knowing that the India inside of you, betrayed for 500 years, is no longer speaking to you. Cuando vives en la frontera, people walk through you. The wind steals your voice. You're a burra, buey, a scapegoat. Look at me. Look at me. Up on the tightrope. My balance is failing. I know that I'll lose. I must pick a side. I must choose. I'm thinking about immigration and this ongoing trend to be called an American. I am thinking about words like dreamer and illegal, language that is stagnant, that in no way, shape, or form speaks truth about the complexities of being and the connections we have beyond borders and political systems. It is like defining your being by building fences, telling folks, this is me. Read the sign. Ana Maria is now 16. Her father works 18-hour days as a dishwasher. Her mother cleans houses she'll never get to live in, so that Ana Maria can sit in a college classroom and say, I am here. Except her guidance counselor tells her she can't get financial aid or the in-state tuition rate because of her status. She says it like an apology. Ana Maria wonders if her family ever crossed the border or if they are just stuck inside another one. The border is an equation in search of an equal sign. The border is a big, clean, clear, neat black line on a map that doesn't exist. To live in the borderlands means that the mill with the razor white teeth wants to shred off your olive red skin, crush out the kernel from your heart, pound you, pinch you, roll you, squeeze you out, smelling like white bread, dead. To survive in the borderlands, you must live sin fronteras, be a crossroads. What an act! I am a star. People watching me. Shall I live? Shall I die? And does anyone care? The tightrope goes on. I am begging to address this fear that I have about one day potentially returning to the place that gave birth to me. Why is it that every time I think about my home, my heart stops at the idea of living in poverty, when in reality, I have been living below the poverty line my entire life? We are still in the same place as when we arrived, under attack, caged, profiled, subjugated to unjust laws. I am thinking about how damaging it is to label my spirit, my essence, undocumented, to take something so minimal from the physical world and have it manifest in my body. There are some borders you can't cross by foot, but borders, I tell her, that must be crossed by stubborn backbones. So when they ask you for your papers, Ana, show them your skin. Wear your tongue like a cape. Throw up your fist like a secret you can't keep any longer. They can't keep you any longer, afraid you can't ever afford to drop a dream. So when they come for you, Ana, tell them in the language you know best. Que tú ya no tienes miedo. That you are not afraid anymore.